From the Most Dangerous Planet, Student's Tale. Begins Part 1. The selection Alex Carter stood in line with 50 other students. His hands were sweaty. His heart beat fast in his chest. This was his one chance to leave Earth and see the stars. The E line moved slowly toward the testing room. Each student went in and came out looking sad. No one had passed yet. No one had been chosen. Alex didn't really expect to pass either. Humans rarely got into the Galactic Academy. Most alien species thought humans were too dangerous. They called Earth Death World Prime because it was such a hard place to live. High gravity, changing weather, and many natural disasters made humans tough. Maybe too tough for the rest of the galaxy. "Next," called a voice from the testing room. Alex took a deep breath and walked in. The room was strange. The air felt too light. The lights were too bright. And sitting behind a table were three beings that looked nothing like humans. One looked like a big blue spider with 7 legs and shiny eyes. This was Dean Zorlax from the Academy. Next to her was a cloud of purple gas inside a clear floating ball. The third looked almost human, but had green skin and 4 arms. "Sit down, please," said Dean Zorlax through a small machine that translated her clicks and whistles into English. Alex sat. The chair was too soft, made for beings from lower gravity worlds. "Alex Carter," said Dean Zorlax, looking at a screen. "Your test scores are interesting." Alex waited. He had done his best, but he knew the Academy rarely took humans. "You failed the sensory test," said the green being. "Your eyes see only a narrow band of light. Your physical strength is concerning," added the purple gas cloud. "You broke 3 testing devices." Alex's hopes fell. Same old story. Humans were too different, too dangerous. He started to stand up. "Wait," said Dean Zorlax. Her voice sounded different even through the translator. "We are not finished." Alex sat back down. "Tell me, Alex Carter of Earth," said Dean Zorlax. "Why do you want to join the Academy?" Alex thought about all the practiced answers he could give, about serving the galaxy, about learning from other cultures, all the things they probably wanted to hear. Instead, he told the truth. "I want to prove that humans belong among the stars," he said. "We're not just dangerous animals from a death world. We can learn, we can help, we can be more than our planet made us." The 3 aliens looked at each other. They made sounds Alex couldn't understand. The translator was off. After a minute, Dean Zorlax turned back to him. "Most interesting," she said. "Most applicants speak of honor or duty or knowledge. You speak of proving something." "Did I say something wrong?" asked Alex. "No," said Dean Zorlax. "You said something honest. The Academy has taken 12 humans in its 500-year history. None in the last 20 years. Alex nodded. He knew the numbers. "What you may not know," continued Dean Zorlax, "is that I have been studying your species for 43 of your Earth years. I find human fascinating." The green being made an unhappy sound. The gas cloud moved in what might have been disagreement. "My colleagues do not always share my interest," said Dean Zorlax. "But I have final say in selections this cycle. And I believe the Academy needs what Earth provides." Alex sat up straighter. Was she saying what he thought she was saying? "You have unusual problem-solving skills," said Dean Zorlax. "You think differently than many species. You adapt quickly. These are valuable traits." She pushed a small silver disc across the table. "This is your acceptance," she said. "The Academy transport leaves in 2 weeks. Be at the Chicago spaceport on the morning of June 14th. Alex stared at the disc. He couldn't believe it. "Thank you," he said, his voice shaking a little. "I won't let you down." "Oh, I expect you will cause many problems," said Dean Zorlax, and the translator somehow made it sound like she was amused. "Humans always do, but that may be exactly what we need." The next 2 weeks passed in a blur. Alex told his parents and friends. He packed his few belongings. He read everything he could about the Academy and the alien species he might meet there. On the morning of June 14th, he stood at the Chicago spaceport. looking up at the huge silver ship that would take him to the stars. It didn't look like Earth ships. It was too smooth, too perfect, like it had grown rather than been built. "All Academy students, please proceed to boarding," said a voice over the speakers. Alex picked up his bag. Around him, a few other beings moved toward the ship. A tall, thin creature with fur covering its eyes. A small flying thing that looked like a jellyfish. A being made of what looked like living metal. No other humans. As Alex walked up the ramp into the ship, he felt eyes on him. The other new students were watching him with what looked like fear or worry. They had probably heard stories about humans, about how strong they were, how violent their planet was, how dangerous they could be. "Welcome aboard, Terran," said a ship worker, using the formal name for Earth people. "Your room is on level 3, section B. The ship leaves in 30 minutes. Alex nodded and found his way to the small room that would be his for the journey. It had a bed that was too soft, lights that were too dim, and air that felt too thin. But it was taking him to the stars. He put his bag down and looked out the small window at Earth, growing smaller as the ship rose. The blue planet that had made him what he was, strong enough to survive its challenges, smart enough to dream beyond them. "This is just the beginning," he whispered to himself. Just the beginning. The ship's engines hummed louder, and Earth vanished into a point of light as they entered faster than light travel. Alex Carter of Death World Prime was on his way to the stars. From the Most Dangerous Planet, Student's Tale, begins Part 2. First impressions, the trip to the Galactic Academy took 3 days. Alex spent most of this time in his room. The other students kept their distance. They watched him when they thought he wasn't looking. Their fear was easy to see. On the 3rd day, the ship captain made an announcement. "We will arrive at Lysithea 7th in 1 hour. All students prepare for landing." Alex looked out his small window as the ship came out of faster-than-light travel. He saw a beautiful planet below. It was mostly purple and blue, with swirling white clouds. And around it, floating in space, was the Academy. It wasn't what Alex expected. It wasn't one building, but many. A small city of silver and glass structures all connected by clear tubes. The whole thing spun slowly in orbit around the planet. The ship docked with a soft bump. The door to Alex's room slid open by itself. "All students proceed to the main hall," said a voice through the ship. Alex picked up his bag and joined the other new students in the hallway. They all moved together down the ramp and into the academy. The gravity here was much lighter than on Earth. Alex felt like he might float away with each step. He had to be very careful not to jump too high or move too fast. The main hall was huge. The ceiling was so high Alex could barely see it. Beings of all shapes and sizes moved around. Some flew, some floated, some walked on many legs. "New students, line up here," called a tall being with blue skin and 4 arms. Alex got in line with the others. There were about 50 new students in all, and he was the only human. "I am First Teacher Vrel," said the blue being. "Welcome to the Galactic Academy. You have all been chosen because you are the best from your worlds. Here you will learn to be part of the greater galactic community." First Teacher Vrel looked at each student as she spoke. When she came to Alex, she paused. "We have a human this year," she said. Her voice didn't change, but something in the way she said it made the other students look at Alex with new interest and new worry. "Each of you will be assigned a room and a roommate," continued First Teacher Vrel. "Your room assignments are being sent to your personal devices now." Alex's silver disc lit up with writing. "Room 372, Block C. Roommate, Krell of Betelgeuse 7th. The Elaim." Students began to move away, looking for their rooms. Alex studied the map on his disc and found his way to Block C. The lower gravity made walking strange. He had to be careful not to push off too hard with each step. Room 372 had a door that slid open as Alex approached. Inside, he found a strange sight. His roommate wasn't like any being he had seen before. Krell looked like a crystal formation about as tall as Alex's chest. Parts of Krell glowed with different colors and patterns that shifted and changed. Krell had no obvious face or limbs. just crystal points sticking out in various directions. "Hello," said Alex, unsure if Krell could even hear him. "I'm Alex Carter from Earth," the crystal being flashed with blue and green lights. A small device on a nearby table translated, "Greeting, Earth being. I am Krell. We will be knowledge partners." Alex put his bag down on what seemed to be his bed. It was too soft, like everything else made for beings from lower gravity worlds. He would have to fix that. "I hope we can be friends," said Alex, trying to be friendly. Krell flashed more lights. The translator said, "Caution is advised. Records indicate humans have high density and strength due to their death world origins. Please maintain safe distance." Alex's heart sank. Even his roommate was afraid of him. "I won't hurt you," said Alex. "I'm very careful." He held out his hand in the human greeting of a handshake, forgetting for a moment that Krell might not understand or be able to respond. Krell's lights flashed rapidly. One crystal arm extended toward Alex's hand. Alex reached out slowly, trying to be gentle, but even being gentle wasn't enough. As their hands met, there was a small cracking sound. One of Krell's crystal points broke off. "I'm so sorry," Alex said, jumping back. "I didn't mean to. I was being as gentle as I could." Krell's lights flashed in patterns the translator didn't catch at first. Then it said, "Damage is minor. Unexpected result. Your minimal contact pressure exceeds my structural tolerance." Fascinating. Alex felt terrible. His first interaction with his roommate, and he had already hurt them. "Will it grow back?" he asked, pointing to the broken crystal piece on the floor. "Affirmative. 2 standard days for regeneration," the translator said, as Krell flashed more lights. "No distress necessary. This is valuable data." Alex wasn't sure what to say next. He was saved by a chime from their door. "First meal is being served in Hall B," said a voice. "All new students must attend." Alex and Krell went to the dining hall together. Krell moved by, floating a few inches above the ground. The hall was filled with tables of different heights and designs to accommodate the many different types of beings. Alex found a table that looked right for his size. The food was served by floating robots. When one came to Alex, it scanned him. "Earth type detected. Special diet required," it said. It gave him a tray with things that almost looked like Earth food. Almost, but not quite. As Alex ate, he noticed many students watching him. Some whispered to each other. Some quickly looked away when he looked at them. He was used to being different. He had always been tall for a human, but this was a new, kind of different. A small flying being that looked like a jellyfish floated up to his table. "Is it true?" it asked in a high, singing voice. "Do you really come from a planet with crushing gravity and poison in the air?" Before Alex could answer, more students gathered around. "I heard humans can break metal with their bare hands," said one. "I heard they can survive radiation that would kill most beings," said another. "I heard they fight each other for fun," said a third, moving back a little. Alex sighed. "Earth has higher gravity than here, yes. And our air has some things that might be harmful to you, but not to us. We're just adapted to our world, like you are to yours." The students kept asking questions. Some were curious. Some seemed scared. Some seemed excited. Alex tried to answer honestly without making humans sound too dangerous. Later, back in their room, Alex sat on his too-soft bed and felt homesick for the first time. Everything here was made for being so different from him. The air was too thin, the gravity was too weak. Even the lights were wrong for his eyes. Krell, sensing his mood, flashed some gentle patterns. "Adaptation is difficult," the translator said. "But records show humans excel at adaptation. This is why you are here, yes?" Alex smiled a little. "Yes, I guess that's true. We're good at adapting." "Then you will adapt here," Krell's light said. "And I will learn not to be broken so easily." It was a small joke, and Alex appreciated it. Maybe making friends here wouldn't be impossible after all. As he lay down to sleep that night, Alex thought about his first day at the academy. It hadn't been easy. It wouldn't get easier soon. But he was here, a human among the stars. That was a start. From the most dangerous planet, Student's Tale. Begins Part 3. The Incident. 3 months passed at the academy. Alex slowly got used to the lower gravity. He learned to touch things very gently. He made some friends, though many students still kept their distance. Classes were hard in different ways. In biology class, he had to stay behind a special shield when they studied dangerous life forms. The teacher said it was to protect the dangerous life forms from him, not the other way around. In physics class, he broke 3 calculator devices before they gave him a stronger one. The hardest class was physical training. The teacher, a tall being with scales and 4 arms named Vrex, made them run and jump and fight with practice robots. "Terran!" Vrex would shout when Alex moved too fast or hit too hard. "Control yourself. You are not on your death world now." But Alex was getting better. He could now shake hands with some students without hurting them. He could pick up a drinking cup without breaking it. He was learning. One morning, while Alex and Krell were getting ready for class, an alarm sounded. "Emergency meeting in the main hall," said a voice over the speakers. "All students report now." Alex and Krell hurried to the main hall. All the students and teachers were there. Dean Zorlak stood at the front, her 7 legs moving nervously. "We have received a distress call," she said. "A research ship is in trouble in the Cygnus Nebula. Their engines are damaged, and they are drifting toward a radiation field." The room filled with worried whispers. "The Academy rescue team is away, on another mission," continued Dean Zorlax. "We must send help now. We need student volunteers to go with First Teacher Vrel on the small rescue ship." No one moved at first. Then a few older students raised their hands or tentacles or light patterns. Alex thought about it. He was only a first-year student. But he raised his hand too. Dean Zorlax looked at him with her many shiny eyes. "Alex Carter of Earth," she said. "You volunteer?" "Yes," said Alex. "I want to help," some students whispered. Some moved away from him. "Very well," said Dean Zorlax. "We have our team. First Teacher Vrel, Alex Carter, Sen of Proxima 4, Krell of Betelgeuse 7, and Mira of Tau Ceti." Alex was surprised that Krell had volunteered too. His roommate flashed blue and green patterns. "Friends help friends," said the translator. 1 hour later, Alex and the others were on the small rescue ship flying toward the Cygnus Nebula. First Teacher Vrel gave them all jobs. Alex was to help with the rescue equipment because he was strong, enough to move it easily in space. "We will reach the research ship in 2 hours," said First Teacher Vrel. "This should be a simple mission. We will fix their engines and bring them back." But as they got closer to where the research ship should be, something seemed wrong. "I'm getting 3 ship signals, not 1, said Sen, who was watching the radar. Sen was a small blue being with 6 eyes and long fingers perfect for working with computers. First Teacher Vrel looked worried. "Show me," she said. On the screen, they could see 3 ships where there should have been 1. 2 of the ships were moving around the 3rd one, which wasn't moving. "That's not right," said First Teacher Vrel. "The research ship wouldn't have company out here." Suddenly, their own ship shook hard. A loud alarm sounded. "We're being attacked," shouted Mira, who was flying the ship. Mira looked almost human, except for her purple skin and the fact that she could see in all directions at once. The ship shook again. Alex grabbed onto a rail to keep from floating away in the low gravity. "Pirates," said First Teacher Vrel. "Draxian pirates. They must have captured the research ship and set a trap." The ship's lights went out, then came back on, but dimmer. "Engines damaged," said Mira. "Shields at half power." First Teacher Vrel tried to call the academy for help, but the communication system wasn't working. "They've blocked our signals," she said. The ship shook again, harder this time. Alex heard a tearing sound, and suddenly air was rushing out of the main room. A hole had been torn in the wall. "Breach!" shouted First Teacher Vrel. "Everyone get to the emergency room!" They all pushed themselves toward the door at the back of the ship. The emergency room was a small space with its own air supply and stronger walls. But as they reached it, another explosion rocked the ship. First Teacher Vrel was hit by a piece of flying metal. She fell, her blue blood floating in small balls in the low gravity. "Teacher!" shouted Sen. Alex moved quickly. He grabbed First Teacher Vrel and pulled her into the emergency room with the others. Mira closed the door just as the main room lost all its air to space. "Is she alive?" asked Krell, flashing worried patterns of light. Alex checked. "Yes, but hurt badly," he said. "She needs help soon." "The pirates will board us next," said Mira. "They want to take us prisoner and steal the ship. What do we do?" asked Sen. "We're just students." Everyone looked scared. Alex thought about what he knew about pirates. On Earth, he had read old stories about them. They were bullies. They expected people to be afraid. "We need to surprise them," he said. "They won't expect us to fight back." "Fight?" said Sen. "We can't fight pirates. They have weapons." "We have some advantages," said Alex. "They don't know I'm human. They don't know what a human can do." Alex explained his plan quickly. It was dangerous, but it might work. The others were scared but agreed to help. "Krell, can you connect to the ship's computers?" asked Alex. "We need to get some control back." "I can try," said Krell. The crystal being moved to a computer panel and extended small crystal points into it. Lights flashed as Krell connected directly to the ship. "I have partial shields," said Krell after a minute, "but they need to be reset from the outside panel." "I'll do it," said Alex. "You can't go outside," said Mira. "It's space. You'll die." "There are emergency spacesuits in the locker," said Alex. "I'll use one." Alex put on a spacesuit. It was too tight in some places, too loose in others. It was made for average galactic beings, not humans. "The reset panel is on the top of the ship," said Krell. "You'll need to climb out the emergency hatch, move along the side, and reach the panel. Then push the blue and yellow buttons together." "Got it," said Alex. "Be careful," said Sen. "The pirates will see you." Alex nodded. He took a deep breath as the others opened the small emergency hatch. The coldness of space waited outside. Alex pushed himself out of the hatch. In the emptiness of space, he could see everything. The Academy ship, damaged but still whole. The research ship nearby, dark and quiet. And the two pirate ships moving to connect to their ship. He moved carefully along the outside of the ship. His earth muscles made it easy to pull himself along even in the bulky spacesuit. When he reached the top, he found the panel Krell had mentioned. As he pushed the blue and yellow buttons, he saw one of the pirate ships was very close now. He could see figures moving inside it. They had spotted him. The shields came back online with a faint blue glow. That was good. But now the pirates were preparing to board, and they knew someone was outside. Alex had to move fast. He pulled himself back to the emergency hatch and got inside just as the first pirates entered the main part of the ship through the hole they had made. "They're here," said Alex, taking off his helmet. "Get ready. The pirates would expect to find scared students hiding in the emergency room. They wouldn't expect a human. They wouldn't expect a trap." Alex picked up a piece of broken metal to use as a weapon. He couldn't save the ship alone, but he could protect his friends. He could show the galaxy what a human from Earth could really do. As the first pirate tried to open the emergency room door, Alex smiled. The real lesson was about to begin. From the Most Dangerous Planet, Student's Tale begins Part 4, Reluctant Hero. The emergency room door opened with a loud hiss. The first pirate stepped in, holding a weapon that glowed blue at the tip. He was tall with red scales and sharp teeth. He expected to find scared students. Instead, he found Alex. Before the pirate could raise his weapon, Alex moved. On Earth, with its heavy gravity, Alex had learned to be fast. Here, in the lighter gravity of the ship, he was even faster. He swung the metal bar he had found. It hit the pirate's weapon and knocked it away. The pirate looked surprised for only a second before reaching for Alex with clawed hands. But Alex was ready. He ducked under the pirate's arms and pushed him hard against the wall. The pirate's eyes went wide as he felt Alex's earthborn strength. "Now!" Alex shouted. Krell flashed bright lights from all sides, blinding the pirate. Mira and Sen pulled on a rope they had set up. It tightened around the pirate's legs and made him fall. 2 more pirates rushed in. They were the same red-scaled type as the first. They had weapons too. One fired at Alex, but he jumped aside faster than the pirate expected. The energy blast hit the wall instead. Alex didn't want to hurt anyone badly, but he had to protect his friends. He grabbed the second pirate's arm and twisted just enough to make him drop his weapon. Then he pushed him into the third pirate. Both fell in the low gravity and floated briefly before hitting the floor. "Get their weapons," Alex told Sen, who quickly took them and moved back. More pirates were coming. Alex could hear them. There might be too many to fight. "Krell, can you seal this door?" he asked. "Yes, but not for long," said Krell, connecting crystal points to the door control. The door slid shut just as more pirates reached it. They began to hit it from the other side. "They'll break through soon," said Mira, looking worried. "There are too many," Alex thought quickly. "We need to call for help. Can we fix the communication system?" Sen looked at the computer panel. "Maybe, but I need to reach the main control room. It's on the other side of the ship, past all the pirates." Alex looked at his friends. They were scared but brave. First Teacher Vrel was still unconscious, but breathing. "I'll go," said Alex. "I'll create a distraction while Sen gets to the control room." "That's too dangerous," said Mira. "There are at least 10 pirates out there." "On Earth we have a saying," said Alex. "The best defense is a good offense. They won't expect us to attack them." Alex picked up one of the pirate weapons. It was strange in his hands, but he thought he could use it. "Sen, show me where the control room is on the ship map," he said. Sen pointed to a spot on a small screen. "Here, but it's far. When I give the signal, open the door," said Alex. "I'll draw their attention. Sen, wait until they follow me, then go to the control room. Mira and Krell, protect First Teacher Vrel." His friends nodded, still looking scared but trusting him. Alex took a deep breath. "Now!" Krell opened the door. Alex charged out with a loud yell. 5 pirates were right outside. They turned in surprise as the human ran straight at them. Alex fired the weapon over their heads. He didn't want to hurt them, just scare them. It worked. The pirates scattered, not expecting anyone to attack them. Alex ran down the hallway, making as much noise as possible. He wanted all the pirates to follow him, to give Sen a chance to reach the control room. Behind him, he heard pirate footsteps. Good. They were following him. Alex ran through the damaged parts of the ship. Air was still leaking in some places, creating strange winds. Broken pieces floated in the low gravity. Alex used this to his advantage, pushing off walls and jumping farther than the pirates could. He reached a large room with many doors. The cafeteria. This would work for his plan. Alex turned to face the pirates who had followed him. There were 7 of them now, all with weapons pointed at him. "Surrender, Academy student," said one pirate, larger than the others, "or we will shoot." Alex had no intention of surrendering, but he needed to keep them talking, to give Sen more time. "Why are you attacking a school ship?" he asked. "We're just students." The lead pirate laughed. "Academy ships have valuable technology, and Academy students can be ransomed for high prices." "You won't get away with this," said Alex, trying to sound brave. "The Academy will send help." "By then we will be gone," said the pirate. "Now drop your weapon and surrender." Alex saw movement out of the corner of his eye. Sen had made it past them and was heading for the control room. Just a little more time needed. "I can't do that," said Alex. He looked around the cafeteria for anything he could use. The pirates were getting impatient. "Enough talk," said the leader. "Take him." 2 pirates moved toward Alex. He waited until they were close, then jumped. In the low gravity, his earth muscles sent him soaring over their heads. He grabbed a light fixture on the ceiling and swung, kicking another pirate as he flew by. The pirates fired their weapons, but Alex was moving too fast. He dropped behind a metal table and pushed it hard. It slid across the floor and hit 2 more pirates. The fight continued. Alex used everything he had learned on Earth, his strength, his speed, his ability to take hard hits. The pirates weren't used to fighting someone like him. They expected Academy students to be weak and scared. But Alex was from Earth. From death. World Prime. His planet had made him strong. Still, there were too many pirates. One blast grazed his arm, burning through his shirt. Another hit his leg. The pain was bad, but Alex had felt worse on Earth. He kept fighting. Suddenly, the ship's lights flashed on and off. The communication system made a loud sound. Sen had reached the control room. The lead pirate looked worried. "What is happening?" he shouted. Alex smiled through his pain. "That would be the distress call my friend just sent. Academy ships are probably on their way now." The pirate leader hissed in anger. "Finish him quickly," he ordered the others. "We must leave." All the pirates aimed their weapons at Alex. He looked for a way out, but he was trapped. He closed his eyes, ready for the pain. Then the ship shook hard. A new, louder alarm sounded. "Academy ships approaching," a voice shouted from another room. "3 of them." Sen had done it. Help was coming. The pirate leader looked at Alex with hate in his yellow eyes. "This isn't over," he said. Then he turned to his crew. "Back to the ships now." The pirates ran, forgetting Alex in their hurry to escape. Alex waited until they were gone, then fell to his knees. His arm and leg hurt badly. A few minutes later, Sen, Mira, and Krell found him. They helped him stand. "The Academy sent ships as soon as they got our signal," said Sen. "The pirates are running." "First Teacher Vrel is stable," said Mira. "She'll be okay." Krell's lights flashed in patterns that the translator said meant relief and pride. Within an hour, Academy security officers had boarded their ship. They were amazed to find most of the students safe, several pirates captured, and First Teacher Vrel alive. When they heard what Alex had done, going into space to fix the shields, fighting the pirates to create a distraction, they could hardly believe it. "You did all this?" asked the security chief, looking at Alex's injuries. "Alone?" "Not alone," said Alex, pointing to his friends. "We did it together." But the story spread quickly as they returned to the Academy. By the time they arrived, everyone had heard about the human student who had fought pirates and won. Dean Zorlax herself met them at the dock. "Alex Carter of Earth," she said, her many eyes studying him. "It seems we underestimated you." Again. Alex just wanted to sleep. His injuries had been treated, but he was tired in a way he had never felt before. As he walked through the Academy halls, he noticed something different. The other students weren't moving away from him anymore. Instead, they watched him with new eyes. Not fear. Something else. Respect. Alex wasn't sure he liked it. He hadn't asked to be a hero. He had just done what anyone from Earth would do. What was special here was just normal there. In his room, Krell's lights flashed gently. "You are changed now," said the translator. "The Academy is changed too." Alex looked out the window at the stars. "I just want to be a student," he said quietly. "That may no longer be possible," said Krell. "Now you are something else. Now you are proof of what Earth can provide." Alex sighed and lay down on his bed. Being a human at the Galactic Academy had just gotten even more complicated. From the Most Dangerous Planet, Student's Tale, begins Part 5. New Understanding. 2 weeks after the pirate attack, things at the Academy were different for Alex. Students who had once avoided him now wanted to sit with him at meals. Teachers who had told him to be careful now asked him to show his full strength. Even Dean Zorlax called him to her office for a special meeting. "Alex Carter of Earth," she said, her many legs moving as she walked around her desk. "Your actions during the pirate attack have caused much discussion among the Academy leaders." Alex sat quietly. His arm and leg were still healing, but the pain was mostly gone. "Some say you acted rashly," continued Dean Zorlax. "Some say you endangered yourself and others. But no one can deny the results. You saved the ship. You saved your fellow students. You saved First Teacher Vrel. I just did what needed to be done, said Alex. It was the truth. On Earth, people helped each other when there was danger. It wasn't special. That is precisely what interests us, said Dean Zorlax. Her translator made her voice sound thoughtful. What seems ordinary to you is extraordinary to others. This is the paradox of Earth. Alex wasn't sure what to say to that. The Academy has existed for 500 years, said Dean Zorlax. In that time, we have taught students from 1,000 worlds, but Earth has always been difficult to understand. She moved to look out her window at the stars. Some Academy leaders think humans are too dangerous to include, she said. They fear your strength, your aggression, your ability to survive, conditions that would kill most beings. Alex had heard this before. It was why so few humans were accepted to the Academy. But I have studied your planet for many years, continued Dean Zorlax. I see something else. I see a species forced to adapt quickly or die. I see problem solvers. I see beings who look at impossible situations and refuse to accept them as final. She turned back to Alex. The Confederation needs this perspective, she said. More than they know. What does that mean for me? Asked Alex. It means, Alex Carter of Earth, that you will be watched closely. Your success or failure here will affect how the Academy views all humans in the future. That was a big responsibility. Alex felt the weight of it on his shoulders. There is another matter, said Dean Zorlax. The year-end symposium is approaching. Each year, selected students speak before the entire Academy and visiting Confederation leaders. I would like you to be one of those speakers. Alex was surprised. First-year students were rarely chosen for this honor. What would I talk about? He asked. Your perspective, said Dean Zorlax. What it means to come from Earth. What the rest of the galaxy might learn from your world. Alex left the dean's office with a lot to think about. As he walked through the Academy halls, he noticed Krell waiting for him. You spoke with the dean? Asked his roommate, lights flashing. Yes, said Alex. She wants me to speak at the year-end symposium. Krell's lights pulsed in a pattern the translator said meant excitement. This is a great honor, said Krell. Few first years are selected. It's a lot of pressure, said Alex. She said how the Academy views all humans in the future depends on me. Krell was quiet for a moment, lights pulsing slowly. Come with me, his roommate finally said. There is something you should see. Krell led Alex to a part of the Academy he had never visited before. It was a large room with screens showing different star systems. This is the Galactic map room, said Krell. Look here. Krell pointed a crystal arm at one small dot on a screen. Earth. Your world looks so small, said Krell, but it has created something the Confederation has rarely seen. What's that? Asked Alex. A species that views impossible situations as merely difficult ones, said Krell. Most beings accept limitations. Humans push against them. Over the next week, Alex worked on his speech for the symposium. It wasn't easy to explain what it meant to be from Earth. How could he make other species understand something that was so normal to him? Finally, the day of the symposium arrived. The main hall was filled with students, teachers, and visitors from across the galaxy. When it was Alex's turn to speak, he walked to the front, feeling nervous but determined. My name is Alex Carter, he began. I come from Earth. You know it as Death World Prime. The planet with crushing gravity, extreme temperatures, dangerous wildlife, and unpredictable natural disasters. The crowd was silent, watching him. To you, Earth sounds like a nightmare, continued Alex. But to me, it's home. It's the place that made me what I am. Not just physically strong, but something more important. He looked around at the many different beings in the hall. On Earth, we have a saying. The obstacle is the wherekin. It means that challenges aren't just things to overcome. They're the very path to becoming better. We don't just survive despite difficulties. We grow stronger because of them. Alex thought about his time at the Academy so far. The challenges, the misunderstandings, the slow building of friendships. Every human carries within them the legacy, Of ancestors who faced extinction many times and refused to give up, he said. This isn't unique to humans. Every species here evolved to meet the challenges of their homeworlds. My physical abilities aren't superior. They're just different, adapted to different challenges. He saw Dean Zorlax watching him, her many eyes unblinking. What I've learned at the Academy is that the true strength of the galaxy isn't in making everyone the same, said Alex. It's in bringing different perspectives together. Earth's perspective is just one of many, but it's one that says, no problem is too big to solve if we work together and refuse to give up. As Alex finished his speech, the hall was quiet. Then Dean Zorlax moved forward, her legs making a soft clicking sound on the floor. When we invited our first human student, she said, addressing everyone, some questioned the wisdom of bringing a species from such an extreme world into our community. They feared what I now recognize as Earth's greatest gift, not physical strength but mental resilience. She turned to face the assembly. The pirate incident has been recorded in Academy history not as an example of human combat ability, but of human problem-solving under pressure. This is the lesson Earth offers the galaxy. After the symposium, many students and visitors wanted to talk to Alex. Some asked questions about Earth. Others shared stories about their own worlds. For the first time, Alex felt truly accepted at the Academy, not as a curiosity or a potential threat, but as a fellow student with something valuable to offer. Later in their room, Krell's lights pulsed gently. You have changed things, said the translator. Not just for yourself, but for future humans at the Academy. Alex looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, the planet that had shaped him, the planet that others called Deathworld Prime, but he called home. This is just the beginning, he said quietly. Indeed, agreed Krell, lights flickering. Your most dangerous planet has given the galaxy something it needs. A reminder that limitations can be overcome, that the impossible is often simply the difficult not yet attempted. As Alex prepared for his second year at the Academy, he thought about the journey so far. It hadn't been easy being the only human at the Galactic Academy, but nothing worthwhile ever was. That was the lesson of Earth. That was the gift of the Death World, and it was just the beginning of his tale.